detect three of the most common arrhythmias, including atrial fibrillation, a leading cause of stroke.
Reason cardiac device helps you make with the only device I have data that tells you that's priceless.
Check your heart with CardioMobile 6F, the world's most advanced personal glucation that gives you more data than any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. Get yours today at cardia.com or Amazon.
Watch this. It's all 100% real. Witness what happens to this woman's bags under her eyes in an actual time lapse in just minutes. Nothing has been doctored or tampered with. The very real problem will disappear before your eyes and hers with a revolutionary topical formulation that works in just minutes, and the effects will last for hours and hours. Over 1 million people are using this topical technique to visually reduce puffiness and bags. It works on sagging jowls, even fine lines and wrinkles on the face and forehead. Introducing Plexaderm. In just minutes, you can restore and beautify your face, even look years younger. And the look will last all day or all evening.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm into love it.
Fuck Elon Musk, man. He acting like somebody did something to him. Nigga, you not even American. It's not like I'm super duper American, but come on. Elon Musk was born in South Africa somewhere and went to Canada, and then all of a sudden he want to be a U.S. citizen. Don't nobody want to hear that shit, bro. He don't even look like an American. Whatever the fuck an American looks like.
Looks like allergy season is back. Time to start saving on your prescriptions. Another good reason to check GoodRx. By linking our TikTok accounts to the family parent tool, it's easy to make sure what my friends are watching on your TikTok.
Let me look this gun and car shit up real quick. Somebody told me they had some shit going on with this motherfucking DEA or something. But before I look that up, let me see if this Larry Hoover shit changed. It's been almost 24 hours. They need to get him up out of the X. I wonder how Wayne feel about that, man. Yeah, so for my people from Washington, D.C. to be tapping in, they just had this, I don't even know how to pronounce the name correctly yet. Jeannie Parayo. I think that's how you pronounce it. But that's the interim U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. She came in on the tip. Man, they breaking into the aid warehouse over there, guys. Them people starving, bro. That shit like, man, that shit crazy. But yeah, she said no mercy for the criminals. Let me see if they changed Hoover status on a
I think that we are on the precipice of sending out a new term sheet that hopefully will be delivered later on today. The president is going to review it, and I have some very good feelings about getting to a long-term resolution, temporary ceasefire, and a long-term resolution, a peaceful resolution of that conflict.
Joining us right now is CNN political and global affairs.
Let me see if they changed this this Larry Hoover shit. Diddy travel updates. You know, I dash back on the stand after shot. Man, I don't understand why he got all these little sissy niggas working around.
I think it comes from the fact that White House for almost 2 weeks now, very hard on both Hamas and
Oh, they changed the release date though.
temporary ceasefire
Mm. They did change this.
Venezuela, he's speaking on the phone with Prime Minister.
They did change that. That's all right. Well, they done changed that.
Conveying with customers.
They had their release date as life.
This is what is bringing the parties closer together. There's still no deal.
So interesting. And add to this now that Netanyahu announcing yesterday that
What's going on? Ain't too much, man. Get ready to take care of a little business. Trying to check on some stuff, just looking at the news.
presenting a new opportunity to help fugitives.
Some people will say in the Israeli government will say, of course, we took Muhammad Sinwar out, another one of the over 7 architects, another hardline Hamas leader who opposed the deal. That's one point of view. Another point of view within the Israeli defense establishment.
A streetcar named Retired May. Wait for a new bus. Woman sentence in Maryland is reduced. Woman's sentence is reduced in Maryland murders. She got multiple murders in Maryland. What's going on? What's happening? Woman sentence. A judge breached Teesha Gilmer's plea deal when he sentenced her to life in a quadruple murder case in Lanham. I didn't even remember no quadruple murder case in Lanham. A judge mistake brought Teesha Nicole Gilmer back to a Maryland courtroom on Wednesday, 14 years after she pleaded guilty to 4 counts of first-degree murder. 14 years? So I've been home 15 years. This happened in 2011. She took a deal and testified against her boyfriend in the 2010 fatal shooting of 38-year-old Don Brooks. Brooks' 2 children, Shakur and Skylar, 5 years old, and Skylar, 3, and 41-year-old Mwasta Sakayala, the children's paternal aunt. I think I did read this. I think a dude might have had a girlfriend and got pregnant. Hold on, let's see what this says. But the judge, Dwight Jackson, who had pledged to sentence her to whatever prosecutors recommended at the 2011 plea hearing, didn't abide. Yeah, so the crime occurred 15 years ago, like I thought. Didn't abide by the deal. A judge later ruled. 3 years later, when they suggested 70 years during sentencing, he instead imposed a life term. Hey, for the people that's on here, what be the difference in them situations in your opinion? I got my own opinion. What be them difference in situations in your opinion when they act like it's some major difference between 70 years, 80 years, or life? Like, do any of y'all see the difference? So on Wednesday, Prince George's County Circuit Court Judge Sharon Kelsey Gilmer sentenced to 40 years. Now that's doable. Although she testified against a nigga. Setting her assistance in helping put the terms without the possibility of parole. Hold on. Helping put the actual shooter behind bars. Let's back that up. On Wednesday, Prince George's County Circuit Court Judge Sharon Kelsey shrank. Oh, I get it now. She shrank. I don't know why they use it in that term. She shrank Gilmer's sentence to 40 years, citing her assistance in helping put the actual shooter behind bars. Daryl Lynn Bellard was sentenced to multiple life terms without the possibility of parole. The role of this court to ensure that fairness prevails. The role of this court is to ensure that fairness prevails. In a statement Wednesday, the Maryland Judiciary and Judge Jackson declined to comment. Defense attorneys last year had filed a motion to correct the illegal sentence, which was supported by prosecutors in the Prince George's County State's Attorney Conviction and Sentence Integrity Unit. The victim's family delivered victim impact statements for about an hour in opposition to the new sentencing hearing. They said Gilmer did not deserve a break. To them, she was an active participant in the murders, holding 4 innocent victims at gunpoint and doing nothing to save their lives. She willingly accommodated Ballard on the trip to Maryland, one of many drug-dealing trips the two booked together, in which she was aware he was armed, they said. How disgusting. This is sick, said Ngazi Salaka, the father of Shakur and Sila, both to Mawatsi Sakaila and fiance Don Brooks. During his impact statement, after the judge's sentence, he added the state of Maryland is corrupt. Prince George's County's Assistant State Attorney Brianna Ford and Defense Attorney Judith Jones and Olinda Moy. Oh, I know Olinda Moy. She represented me in my parole revocation hearing. Great lawyer, great black woman. Staunch supporter of justice. So, Prince George's County Assistant Attorney Brianna Ford and Defense Attorney Judith Jones and Olinda Moy. I thought she had stopped practicing law. Said the correction was a necessary step to achieve justice. Gilmer had a traumatic upbringing and was homeless before meeting Ballard at 16. The then 41-year-old man groomed her and sexually and physically assaulted her before ordering her to assist in the killings. The state does not believe she sits here as a victim in this case. She is a victim of Daryl Ballard, Ford said.
When your home needs work, where do you
Man, that's something.
Angie?
Run y'all niggas over the wall. What up, E? Checking in. What's up, Slim? I be forgetting some of that dumb shit I be saying, but yeah, we ran them niggas over the wall. My homies ran them niggas over the wall. Same place like it's 20 years. What? Some places like it's 20 years. What you mean?
What hair looks like. I'm lowering my A1C, and I lost some weight too. I also learned some people take this effort to lower the risk of major cardiovascular events like stroke, heart attack, worsening chronic kidney disease.
Don't share needles or pens or use needles. Don't take if you or your family have NTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck or any of these allergic reactions. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or procedure, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be. Serious side effects may include inflamed pancreas, gallbladder or severe stomach problems, or changes in vision.
That's crazy.
Taking either sulfonylurea or insulin may raise levels.
Let me see if I can look this shit up while we still here. I gotta get the moving.
Discover the GLP-1 with the most FDA. Ozempic.
You asked our opinion on the different times. Hold on. On the different times? Yeah, but your answer was fragmented. What's going on? Good morning, bro. Salute. Run y'all niggas over the wall. What's up, E? Checking in. Okay, some places life is 20 years. Oh. Maybe a parolable life. Where you get that from? A lot of those things have changed now.
Tell your doctor if you have an infection, fever, recent or planned vaccinations, kidney problems. The most common side effects include respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, and injection site reactions.
I'm hitting the fairways with the fellas.
I'm hitting the road with my number one. That's how we live it.
I mean, how y'all feel about that young boy pardon? Like, how much time was he gonna get? He wasn't even in jail.
Fresh sliced meats, and now like
I mean, I know it take the conviction away, but what did young boy do to deserve a pardon or a commutation of sentence, whatever he got? I mean, Larry Hoover been in jail 50-some years. I mean, that alone is enough to say, you know, he might deserve a change. Good morning, what it do? In my opinion, anyway.
Your underwear should be a 10. Go to TommyJohn.com now for 20% off your first order.
No application fee if you apply by May 30th at University of Maryland Global Campus. Offering online and Are you ready to connect to a perfect journey?
Say, what is day 13 for the Diddy trial? See, now they getting into the shit they gonna use the man, the railroad a nigga. You asked our opinion on different times. I got you. Good morning. Would you ever date a guy? Would your mother ever suck a nigga dick for $40?
To connect to a journey that's perfect because of you.
I was tired of being told no. No to my dreams.
I had no idea you said you wanted me to.
Fuck is you talking about, bro? Matter of fact, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Cause you gonna turn me off. Go sit down somewhere. Young boy pardon was probably a favor to one of those small hat music executives who made a donation to Trump. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what. She got on a sweater and a yellow jacket.
The average cost of a wedding in the United States last year was a whopping $33,000. That is and now
Yeah, I ain't sure what's up with it.
tariffs, the damage may already have been done to the wedding industry, piping costs and everything, dresses, cakes, flowers.
Let me say this hype and everything from dresses.
10% to their budgets to offset the tariffs during the now factor.
You ready to go to this physical therapy, man? I was in a little fender bender in the back of an Uber. And they put me in for physical therapy. The little exercise they be doing in there, I ain't even realize people do, like, but I guess when people really be really hurt, like, not that I'm not hurt, but I'm talking about when people really be hurt, bent out of shape and can't function, them little teeny exercises might be the shit. Like, you don't even use no string, you just be in there doing like this 20 times. Like, it's almost like it's not even a workout, bro. But I see they changed that status on that BOP.gov, the inmate locator. So Larry Hoover Joe don't say life no more in the feds. Now that Joe say unknown. But they gonna get him out of ADX. He need to be out of ADX ASAP. I mean, once that Trump order went into pardon, for an example, like them two, that white couple, one of them was locked up in Florida, one of them was locked up in Kentucky. The man had 12 years, the woman had 7. They got out the very next morning, which is this morning. Larry Hoover need to get they need to get him the fuck out of ADX. Anything can happen to ADX. Once the federal time was commuted, he don't supposed to be in the institution no more. Now, and I seen last night on YouTube, one of my Chicago people said he was in this place called something correctional facility in Illinois, but according to the computer, he's still in ADX. How do you feel about Mr. Larry Hoover's release? Well, he didn't get released yet. That's what I'm talking about. I think it was a long time coming for the federal government to do anything about his conviction. The man been in prison 52 years. He been in ADX since probably the late 90s. He might have got there in 98, 97, 98. I mean, because they finished with the case in like 97. He been there almost 30-some years. because he had already done 20 years in the state. Damn, nigga, I ain't seen you on the brick. Thought you was in witness protection, Holmes. Nah, that's where your mother selling pussy at. And your father in that joint, he a male prostitute. They say he worked for Diddy, he a sex worker. That's where you at. I mean, who cares what you talking about? Matter of fact, man, let me get you out of here, because I ain't gonna do nothing but cuss you out. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna let you stay so I can figure out who you are. Might smack your teeth out your mouth somewhere. OKC advanced to the finals. Now I'm looking for the Pacers to put away the Knicks tonight in 5, or at least put them away in 6. Man, the Knicks done. Would you ever interview Cornell Jones? I would like to interview Cornell Jones. He could tell you a lot about the city. I might try to reach out. Oh, Cornell, cool people.
How are you navigating this, not knowing one day for yes, because at times Donald Trump says, okay, 145.
Don't tip. Man, bro, your mother sucked dick for $40, bitch. She don't even get the going rate. She sucked dick for the crackhead rate. Don't block him, E-Bed. Oh, what's up, Mooka? I ain't blocking. But you know my mouth will get stupid. I'm on YouTube, too. I got to protect my YouTube, bro. I can't let my YouTube people see me acting like that with one of these suckers over here. Would you ever interview? Yeah, that's cool. You talking crazy this morning. Nah. I ain't talking crazy over here. That's one of these niggas on you on Instagram. I had the Instagram joint on when I clicked the phone on, so I just left both of them over in my Good Morning America to the people. You know what I'm saying? Was watching this news to see if they said anything else about Larry Hoover. You know what I mean? But this Larry Hoover thing is big for many reasons, because people be thinking a nigga gone to jail and they gone forever. 52 years is a long time, but anything can happen. If you on YouTube, never mind. Nah, Mookie, you right. I can control myself, man. I'm grown. His mother still working for 40. 40 is nasty work. Yeah, that's what his mother doing for. He over here talking about some witness protection when he know his mother sucking dick for 40. Bruh, nobody cares what you talking about. You over here, he over here talking about jokes like sausage nose. Bruh, you only have a real name, you don't have a real profile picture. Nothing you say right now gonna make you no money. Nothing you say gonna offend me. Nothing you say gonna hurt me. If I catch you in real life, I'll knock all your front teeth out your mouth with that pistol. Now, laugh at that. I'm telling the truth. Free all the real ones, you know it. This nigga talking about he been laughing at me for 2 years. I've been home 15 years, man. I'm $600,000, $700,000 past whatever the fuck he talking. I stopped hustling at $300,000 when my man got locked up. What are you doing in life? This niggas on the live right now, they can vouch for what I'm talking about. Whoever heard of you? You got a comment from a page that don't nobody know your name. That means you're insignificant. Not only in life, but even in the social media world. Type something else. And like I said, I knocked your whole front teeth out. You know what I'm saying, Mooka? It's 9:47. This nigga here talking about I thought you was in witness protection. I thought you was into gay porn. Yeah, I still write. I'm writing a book right now with a good friend of mine. We doing a collaboration. So how do you think this 200-year state thing will pan out? I think it's gonna pan out in one or two ways. Let me give you a third option too. First and foremost, once Larry Hoover got the federal sentence commuted and he gonna get out of ADX, that's almost like making parole. To leave ADX when you supposed to die there, that's already a come up. You dig? So at the worst case scenario, let me say this. He got to get sent back to Illinois. The Illinois Department of Corrections more than likely does not want Larry Hoover in their system. Not just one institution. They don't want him in the prison system. So Larry Hoover once told a buddy of mine that was in ADX with him, shout out to Mustafa Zulu, shout out to Fly. He once told them that he ain't worried about the 150 to 200 years in the state of Illinois. He said because he was told or he heard from a reliable source when it comes to how the system work out there that if they ever sent them back, that Illinois don't want them in none of their prisons and that they would build a special place for them. I'm not saying it's true, this is what I heard. That they would build a special place for him in Illinois where he would not have any contact with GDs, all right? That's what I was told. Now let me give you my opinion on that. I don't believe there's no way they could lock Larry Hoover up in the state of Illinois unless they built one of them jumps like they had to do Tommy Silverstein in Leavenworth, whereas though they had him on no contact, but putting this here. Once his crimes were commuted in the feds, you know, I'm sure the state of Illinois, being as though they run their own show, they can say, well, he's too influential and do this and do that. But that conviction is commuted. That's over with. They can no longer punish him for the things that the feds came to get him out of the institution for. So that leaves this right here. Either they contract with a private prison or a state prison or even the feds again. Now, this is the tricky part. This is the part that I really don't even want to imagine, but since you asked me the question, I'm trying to elaborate on it. I'm expounding. The state of Illinois can contract with the feds to send Larry Hoover back to the feds, which would be terrible, in my opinion. Because imagine this. We got homies like James Fowler, shout out to Fry Man, free Fry Man, innocent man got life out of the state of Maryland. He was so influential, so to speak, in the state of Maryland. They did what we say, you know, kicked him out of Maryland. I believe they might have done the same thing to Dennis Wise. I got to check it. But James Fowler, that's our homie, man. Shout out to Ed. Shout out to all the men over there, Glass Man, 1001. But they put him out the feds. And I'm just giving you this example because sometimes when you're powerful in a state joint, they can send you to the feds will accept you. So I ain't gonna talk you to death about that. Oh, Cassie Ventura had her third child. That's why they was rushing her ass off the stand. So anyway, they can also try to do a state thing. But I'm gonna say this to you for anybody who keep up with it. What's up, sexy? Anything that they do to send Larry Hoover back to the federal system, if they did, the federal system is so petty, bro. They will send him back to ADX. And I hate to say that like that. I know if any of his family and friends and supporters watching it, they probably cringe when I said that. But what part of Maryland is James Fowler from? James Fowler is from Glass Manor, 1001. Shout out to the men. Do you think Larry really still have that influence on the youth like he did in the early days? Me personally, I can't speak on that, but you ask my opinion. I don't think it's about if he has the influence over the youth. Remember, he been in jail 52 years. I'm not even 52 years old. A lot of youth never heard of him, never seen him. Some of them that heard of him only heard of him as a legend. But what I will say is that he's 74, about to be 75 years old. He got many friends and associates that's his age. They have young guys that they raised, mentored, and schooled in prison and in the streets that's under them, 65, 55. So that's how the influence is. It trickles down to the young people. Like a whole lot of young people not sitting out there in Chicago saying, you know, they waiting for Larry Hoover to come back. I mean, and the influence that he may even exert or lend to the streets ain't gonna come in that type of capacity that everybody think about. Keep in mind, this man been in jail 50-some years. He been in ADX almost 30-some years. He went to jail 22. He caught the other case at 42. I don't think he running back to the streets. What's up, mama? I don't think he running back to the streets just to do that. That don't make sense. I mean, remember, I done stories with dudes that was out ADX with Larry Hoover. One of the things they say about Hoover is that he don't never have to raise his hands. So it have been jail rides and black race conflicts. He don't even got to raise his hand, although in certain situations he did. Well, what's your opinion on his chances of actually being freed? At this juncture in time, I'm judging this on the confidence of his son and his wife and his supporters. They very confident that they can handle Illinois, okay? Larry Hoover himself then said he ain't worried about Illinois. He'll figure that out. I'm going to trust in him. But right now, I'm going to send a big nod and a big salute out to Donald Trump for cutting the cord on that bullshit. They had him out there in ADX with V. What's up? Shout out to Baltimore. That might be the Punisher's baby. Well, we know it could be, because one of the things that's interesting to me is I ain't really been passing a whole bunch of judgment on Diddy, right? I ain't gonna get too deep into this Diddy shit, but I do got the news on, so I seen it. This is my thing with Diddy. What's up, V? If you into the swinger lifestyle, I don't know much about it. I ain't gonna judge him for it. But I don't understand this. Can somebody kind of help me understand? Then that's crazy. I got 36 right here and 36 right here. That's crazy. 200 years for one body. Go way over the guidelines. It ain't really 200 years for one body, right? It's 150 years to 200 years, right? But if I'm not mistaken, it was a double murder, maybe. Don't quote me on a double murder. I heard that last night when I was reading some stuff. I only really knew about the one part. But somebody alleged that 2 people got hit. Anyway, matter of fact, I'm going to look that up and do a story and clarify it with my YouTube journal. But it was more that he ordered it from, he ordered it done. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say ordered it from prison because he was already in prison later on. But that murder right there, I believe, like, I don't even believe he's accused of killing the person. I'm gonna go back and look it up and do that. So I see a lot of young people that got interested in the Larry Hoover song. I mean, Larry Hoover situation. And I know they had the song with Big Meech and Larry Hoover name in it. So, you know, some people that never even heard of the man are aware of the man from the Rick Ross song, now Donald Trump. So it is what it is. That man made a whole game. They're carrying on decades later. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have done some things like that. So Kanye had a method to his madness the whole time. People put some more respect on his name. Kanye was repping it. You think Kanye had something to do with the whole thing? I definitely gonna give him some props for having a part of it, having something to do with it. Press that like button. Yeah, tell him to free your man Wayne. I don't think Wayne Perry gonna get out from a pardon or commutation. If y'all want to know my opinion on Wayne Perry, I believe that if Wayne Perry get out of jail, he's gonna get out of jail like a guy like Willie Strickland. For people who don't know who Willie Strickland is, Willie Strickland he was accused of a lot of violence back in his days. Like some of the guys his age that I met in prison, and I'm not saying this is true, so quote me on, I'm not saying this is true, but some of the older guys that I met that was in prison when I got there from the 70s, and we had conversations about Willie Strickland before Willie Strickland got out, and they told me stories about him. One in particular described Willie Strickland in these terms verbatim. He said, yo, Eon, you know, Willie Strickland was our Wayne Perry. Now, everybody not going to agree with that, and I don't expect everybody to agree with that. What's up, Trap Boy, Bamboo Sheets? What's up? What's up with the men? But I'm not gonna say that I agree with all that. But for somebody to say that, that's a hell of a statement. You know what I mean? Trump will talk to the mayor of Chicago and get his state time. Will be pardoned and expunged. Uptown 14 Live. I'm kind of glad you said that because a troll kept saying it on my YouTube joint, right? The mayor of Chicago does not pardon or nor expunge anything that Larry Hoover or any Illinois prisoner does. That responsibility is solely up to the governor, not the mayor of Chicago. Now, the family of Larry Hoover is confident, and their confidence is so strong that it makes me comfortable in even saying it. They believe that they're not worried about Illinois, they believe Illinois is going to quote unquote do the right thing. The big monster in the room was the federal government. As you see, they have a dude by the name of Safer. He was the lead prosecutor on the federal case. I'll show you how vindictive and dead serious that the federal government be. The federal government is still speaking out about Trump pardoning commuting the sentence of Larry Hoover. When Hope Village was open, all the good men came through there. Well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them did. Shout out to UE Richmond mob in here. I just was asking where my Richmond niggas at. In Wayne Perry's situation, in anything he was convicted, was his DNA ever found? Well, Wayne Perry, for lack of a better term, a lot of y'all don't know this. Wayne Perry was the first person that the federal government sought the death penalty against in D.C. since 1957. If I ain't mistaken, and the person that they sought the death penalty for in 1957 killed a police officer. Maybe I go back and research that case. But Wayne Perry pled guilty because Alpo Martinez, the nigga Gully TV love, the nigga Up for Debate TV love, you know, a rack of these niggas love this rat. This rat was gonna testify against Wayne Perry, and they was gonna stick the needle in his arm because of that rat. That's why I don't like them or no other rats. And I don't give a fuck how many teams of rats get together to play games and slander my name. It's still fuck all them rats. And you can't find nobody I ever told on or no testimony I ever gave nowhere, bruh. That's them rats trying to make a motherfucker character look bad. And the biggest, ugliest rat of them all got a contract with the federal government to provide information at any time. That's more amazing to me than even the fake paperwork they done made up. They don't even want to mention that shit. Trump just do what the fuck he want. Trap boy, I'm gonna be honest, that rap boy out of 15 bodies on Wayne Perry name, they might not let him home. Huh? Nah, Jawan. That's in a court. Larry Hoover got pardoned by the president. It's commutation is like a pardon. It's not, it's like, let me try to explain this again, because like sometimes I be talking fast. If you got life without parole in the feds and the president commutes your sentence, he basically shortens your sentence. The president can shorten your sentence from life without parole to 30 years. Most of the time when the president commutes your sentence, they just let you go. Now, I'm gonna use the example of a good brother by the name of Norman Brown from Washington, D.C. A lot of people know him. To my recollection, he served 25 years in the feds on a non-violent, drug offense. President Barack Obama commuted his sentence. If I ain't mistaken, y'all can go Google it. They made a whole video promo run of it. Obama went to eat at Bus Boys and Poets somewhere in Washington, D.C. with a group of these guys that he commuted their sentence or partner. And sidebar on that for a second. I kind of respect, I know a lot of people say they don't respect shit Obama did, but that's on them. Like me, everybody can say they don't like Trump or they don't like Obama or they don't like Biden. And I can find something good or bad that either one of them did. But anyway, to keep it moving along. Shout out to Tony Lewis Jr. Tony Lewis Jr. told me one day, Eon, if you can't invite a person to your house for dinner to be around your family, how could you advocate for their release from prison? And that kind of, I ain't gonna say it woke me up, but it made me understand the dynamics of advocacy and who you advocate for. So, I got some buddies that got some dangerous, heinous accusations or criminal convictions. And most of them that's my friends, that was my friends before they got involved in certain shit, I would invite them over to dinner. But there are some people that Good or bad, I ain't gonna invite them over for dinner at my house. I mean, they not my type of people. You know what I mean? But to stay on track with my line of thought, Obama went to lunch with those people, and in my mind, I always looked at it like, damn, how could you free him if you don't trust him enough to be around him? But I don't know any other president that did that. I don't know any other sitting president that went inside the feds to check on the men, although he went to a specific type of joint. But you know how that go. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, that was Jawan talking. My fault. It's the governor. Yeah, but you're not the only one that said that. I seen a lot of people online last night from YouTube to Instagram saying that federal courts blocked Trump from imposing the bulk of his term. Man, the feds putting all type of brakes on it. But I seen a lot of people on YouTube last night kept saying the mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Chicago. If it was up to the mayor of Chicago, Larry Hoover, any mayor, not this particular sitting mayor, but Larry Hoover been in jail 52 years, almost 53 years, right? If it was up to a mayor, Chicagoans would have been found a way to rally the troops to get the mayor to bust a play for Larry Hoover. It's up to the governor. What's the governor of Illinois again? If us black folk were so involved with our state officials like we are with the president, a whole lot of things would change. I can't go argue with you. Only the governor can. Yeah, I told him that. I remember I got the Instagram joint on too. Folks don't even know who their state officials are. The president gave money put to states and fix highways. Okay, bro. What's up, DC? Ain't too much what it do. To leave ADX to go to general population is a win. I agree with you. And he's not just going to general population and the feds, bro. He's going back to the Illinois Department of Corrections. Bro, that's like a dude in ADX that's not supposed to never go nowhere going back to Lawton. That's almost like going home. And once you get there, you be able to stretch your legs, and you know what type of celebrity treatment they gonna give Larry Hoover and the Illinois Department of Corrections? Oh, you got a little Jack Russell back there. Yeah, that's my people's jump. That jump I stole, I kidnapped that jump. Big Stepper, what's up? He said, oh, you got a little Jack Russell right there. Brick Squad, what's up? Only the governor can. Folks don't even know, blah, 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 read that. What's up, DC? Brick Squad. Hey, at least he getting out of ADX and now can see his family. He winning. He can see his grandkids. You know this man ain't never touched his grandkids? He ain't touched none of his loved ones, just touched them. Hugged them, embraced them. The whole time he been in ADX, they send people, like, I don't know if y'all niggas, not y'all niggas, I don't know if y'all hip, did they send niggas to ADX to die? Like, most time when you go to ADX, them big Willie, them big high profile dudes, Sugar Ray Dre, what's up? Them high profile, hey Dre, excuse me, let me finish my thought before I holler at Dre. Most of them high profile dudes, they go to ADX to never get out. But back to my man Dre, free OBO. You know, Dre, you know this is, I know it's gonna be bittersweet for Silk out there to see Hoover leave. You know what I'm saying? Because according to people that's out there, him and Hoover probably, you know, been around each other for some time and they got very close. But I'm sure that Wayne Perry, although I ain't really want to say his name because I'm just talking to you, Dre. I'm sure Silk out there knowing that if Allah wills, he'll get some type of opportunity at liberation as well. Although I don't think it's going to come through the president or a president partnering, but I don't know. But I believe that Wayne shit gonna come through the courts like them other dudes that got them compassionate releases. And for everybody to keep saying, man, you dumb as shit, you talking about Wayne Perry, woo, 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 woo. Let me remind y'all, I'm not just promoting that because that's something I'm on. This is a conversation that people keep talking about. But what I want to say is, bruh, they resentenced the Menendez brothers. Do anybody remember the Menendez brothers? When a guy on death row in a state, the governor is the only person who can stop it. That's true. Why you say that though? I thought we all know that. Keith Watson, Larry was a whole gangster. Stop it. keep it treetop tall. I'm not saying I don't want him home, because I do. But this is what the gangster life gets us. I ain't complaining. Larry Hoover ain't complaining. None of us is complaining. All I'm saying is that the same opportunities that other gangsters, some other gangsters got, he should get. And check this out. According to prison behavior, he's a model prisoner. He been in ADX 30 years. So like, what the fuck? Hold on, let me check on Instagram real quick. Shout out to DC. Shout out to the DC love for Petersburg, Virginia. What's up with you, bro? JB, what? I don't know what that. Oh, that's the name. That's the mayor, JB Pritzker. I mean, that's the governor. I didn't even know it. I ain't looking up. I mean, I don't need to look it up. I don't care. But people look at Wayne Perry as a zombie. A zombie? I ain't going front. The stories I heard growing up put chills in my body. He was ruthless as shit. Wayne Perry is considered more dangerous than Fly. What man? Where you get that from? I'm just asking, Juwan, you know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of stories you hear about people are really not true. So he not coming home. I'm not gonna say he not coming home. He may come home, but right now he's just leaving ADX, Supermax, the Alcatraz of the Rockies, in Florence, Colorado. And unless the state of Illinois find a way to slip a real vicious Mickey into the drink, he's going back to the Illinois Department of Corrections. Where? I don't know. What level of security? I don't know. He does have a murder charge. He does have a sentence of 150 years to 200 years. But he a different breed of prisoner. I'm telling you right now, the state of Illinois, from the governor to the Department of Corrections to public safety, they discussing Larry Hoover's situation right now. Like, think about it. Dudes in their prison system that know he on the way back that done heard the news. Because remember, the Chicago news been covering this shit since yesterday. The pardon part. They've been covering his compassionate release since 2022 or 2021. But nah, he is going back. Like, I don't know. See, a lot of us from Washington, D.C. don't even remember when Lawton was here. Lawton closed in 2001. You got people right now that's a part of the culture and the pulse of the city that wasn't even alive when Lawton was open. So some people can't even imagine a dude like a Wayne Perry being sent back from ADX to a Lawton. Can you imagine if Lawton was open and they say, oh, they sending all the homies back to Lawton? That's what they doing for Larry Hoover. Trump pardoned me over, the federal shit is over, and now they're going back to the Illinois Department of Corrections. I got one of them Joe smart ass dog, bro. They super smart. I love them joints. And they aggressive. They send you out ADX to die. That's what the people from ADX say. And I ain't gonna say no release. I know plenty of dudes that got out. I mean, welcome home to Kobe Mowat. Kobe Mowat did time out ADX. Long live my homie Big Bundy. He did time out ADX. My man, my homie Kima, he did time out ADX. Fly did time out ADX. All these people I'm naming right now are people that made it home from ADX. So that's 4. Let me think of somebody else. It's quite a dude. But you know, ADX ain't even the same as it used to be. I mean, it's still the last stop, but they got dudes out there right now. They got dudes in ADX for jacking. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you go all the way to ADX because you can't keep your private area in your pants? That's crazy. He stopped, but you know he's going to the max prison. I ain't saying he wasn't, but you right. Let me see what you said. Nah, you talking about his grandkids and stuff. Hold on. Wayne and the Menendez are different. They was kids. Hold on, bruh. Time out, y'all. You said the Menendez brothers was kids. I understand your situation. I'm not trying to compare Wayne Perry to them. They shotgunned their mother and father. They planned it. They went outside, reloaded a pump shotgun, bro. Not even no auto that you could just pop, 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 pop and done. A pump shotgun. That means every time they hit their mother and their father, they had to have a thought in their head. They went outside, reloaded, came back in, and hit their mother again to put her out of her misery. And you telling me because they were young, because they was not kids. They was riding around in Rolls Royces, buying buying Rolex watches, property, going to golf courses and all type of other shit. And you gonna tell me they was kids? The government don't get two fucks about being a model inmate. Maybe the federal government, like the FBI and the courts don't, but the prison system does. That's why you get out of prisons. Not get out of prison to go home. I mean, that's why you get out of a max prison to a medium prison to a low. They do care about model prison, and they may not care about Larry Hoover being a model prisoner. A lot of myths about Wayne Perry. I was just talking about him. Stop it. You know he going to the max. The media made Wayne Perry's story bigger. It's other, bigger. It's other with more alleged murder than him. The mafia boss, etc. Okay. I ain't gonna argue with you that the media ain't play a role in making certain individuals bigger than life. That's true. You know any people in Fort Dix? Hell yeah, there's a bunch of DC niggas in Fort Dix. Why, what's up? Stop it, E. Same rules apply. For what? For what? The same rules apply for the Menendez brothers shooting their parents with shotguns? Every time GDs and BDs beef is because of Hoover. Why is that? I heard somebody say that, but why? Why you say that? They said they being abused. I don't care, bro. Listen, if they was being abused, I don't care either way, so I don't want you to think I'm emotional or I'm upset. I talk like that sometimes, but let me make this point. For people who said the Menendez brothers was abused and that's why they did that, why the fuck did they wait until they was taken out of the wheel to go get shotguns? Like, when your father was sticking things in your butt and playing with your penis and all this other shit and your mother knew it, why you didn't go get shotguns then? But Rat Pope put 15 bodies on Wayne Perry. Damn, Jawan, you on the Instagram and the YouTube. But Alpo put 15 bodies on Wayne Perry. Wayne Perry has a mentality that will make citizens leery of him. That's your opinion. I don't know why you saying 15 bodies, though. Where you get the 15 number from? Poe did say he told about 14 murders on that documentary, but Wayne Perry got 5 life sentences. He only convicted of 5 killings. You know that, right? Not 15. Wayne Perry convicted of 5 killings that he pled guilty to. Now you are emotional. No, I'm not, bro. It don't. When they did it, you not them. Bruh, don't sit here and argue with me about the Menendez brothers, bruh. They shot their mother and father with shotguns, Holmes. Wayne Perry wouldn't have did that. Sammy the Bull. Let me not put Sammy the Bull and Wayne Perry in the same sentence. Wayne Perry ain't do that. No other killer that I know did that. Now, we got this rat nigga in D.C. named John something. This nigga killed his mother. I think he killed his mother on some crackhead shit, but to shoot your mother and father, bro, don't put him in the category with no street nigga. That shit that they did to their mother and father was gruesome. With shotguns, bro. They ain't even just go hit him in the head with a dome shot with a pistol. They went in there and mowed their ass down with shotguns, bro. Hold on, what? Oh, they go, Lamb, that's my homie right there. She said, your breakdown is more makes sense for people that don't know. Okay, Lamb, you know I'm talking to Instagram and YouTube at the same time, but my breakdown makes sense for people who don't know. All right, I got you. Salute, mama. Much love to you. But Fly said, if Larry Hoover got back to Illinois, they said they would lock him up worse than ADX did. There's no way for the state of Illinois to ever lock him up worse than ADX. ADX is the concentration camp or concentration camps in the federal government. Killed their parents out Cali. Oh yeah. Oh, see, I'm late on the Instagram comments. Hold on one second, YouTube. Shit, they even considered the release of the DC sniper. Anything is possible. Yeah, but only because he was a juvenile. They never considered the release of John Williams. I don't know. You know what's so funny? Sidebar, y'all. You know what's so funny about America? John Williams, who was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken, lived his whole life as John Williams before he changed his name, right? Then he changed his name to John Allen Muhammad. They never respected his name change. They never called him John Allen Muhammad. As soon as he became the suspect in the, I hate that they call it the DC sniper case. I think they did that to get, you know, some type of views or somebody with attention. It should have been the Beltway sniper case. He only shot one motherfucker in DC, and that was all the way at the top of Northwest. And he probably shot the motherfucker sitting in Silver Spring. But he didn't kill nobody in DC. I believe he just shot that one person in DC. I don't believe that person died. I could go back and check it. But child, while he on live, you can check it. He should have been called the Beltway sniper. Anyway, they never considered even calling him John Allen Williams. As soon as he was on the run as suspect in those cases, he automatically became John Allen Muhammad. They respected the name change. I ain't going to jail and getting no death penalty for you to respect my name change. And then they kept him on death row for 10 years. Then they did some other shit in that John Allen Muhammad case. John Allen Williams, sniper, whatever. That they normally don't do. Y'all know he was arrested in Maryland. Maryland deferred is the word I'm going to use. Deferred John Allen Muhammad to be prosecuted in Virginia first. Why? Do anybody remember? Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed Larry Hoover out of the belly of the beast. So let us know that Allah is the best of planners. Now we need to champion for the other good men. I like that. Ooh, that shoulder pad? I think that's shoulder pad. Yeah, that's shoulder pad. What's up, bro? Salute, big homie. It's some DC dudes that's worse than Wayne Perry. I ain't really into who's worse than Wayne Perry and how bad Wayne Perry is. We all got our demons and we all made mistakes. I mean, some niggas did some hell of a shit. Roy made it out. Yeah, but Roy only had different type of convictions. But Roy, that's my man. Roy made it out for sure. Roy made it out of ADX. Yeah, but Roy knew how to think. Roy wasn't just a gorilla. Roy could put some work in, but Roy could think too. A lot of people don't know that Roy was smart. Do you play NCAA 20? Well, I have, but I ain't been playing it lately. You know how many cases Alpo closed? Like, did any of them statements stick? I don't know about all the Harlem Legend TV. What's up, bro? Peace and blessings, man. Black on black killing is gruesome. All right. Top of the morning. What's up? DC sniper era was vicious. Yeah, I was in the penitentiary at that time. That dude didn't come in the inner city. Who didn't come in? Yeah, I'm telling you. Look us up. He shot one person in DC at a gas station in Northwest, all the way up there by my part of town, bro. That's almost Silver Spring. He was mainly out Moco committing crimes. Not just Moco. Moco and a bunch of spots in Virginia. Like, he killed the DEA dude or whatever the dude that worked for the government. He killed them all the way in Virginia somewhere. Then he killed another one at the gas station down there by the Home Depot. Now, he may have terrorized Washington, D.C., but remember, his baby mother, his wife, his estranged wife, what was her name? Mildred Muhammad. She lived in Maryland. He was doing all that shit to bother her. Killed 3 people in Moco from what I remember. At least 3. And he shot the little boy. They shot the little boy in Moco somewhere too. He shot a boy in Bowie at a middle school. I remember that. He didn't die. Yeah, they shit Shawty with that rifle, fuck Shawty up. One victim was by my old job in White Flint. They did jumps like that. Somebody look up that jump that he did where he shot the person at the gas station real quick. Make content outside of jail shit. Some guys should not come home, and I've been to the pen 3 times. Some niggas are not no earthly good. Some people may be no earthly good, but it's not my job to say who deserves to get out of the penitentiary. And I don't know why some people that even are no earthly good laugh out loud. You state stuck. What? You state stuck? All right, bruh. You right, E. That definitely was crazy. All right. You low-key a sociopath too, bro. You can get a check for this shit. I'm a sociopath. Explain your definition of sociopath, because you ain't even spell that bitch right. And what makes you some clinical genius to decipher and diagnose me as a sociopath. You about to make me cuss you out. So why they call him the DC sniper? The same reason the media make up all other type of shit. Why they call the person the hillside strangler? Why they call the other nigga the son of Sam? The media made it up. Why they call Sean Branch the Teflon suspect or the Teflon defendant? I get them mixed up, him and Corey Moore. Why they call John Gotti the Teflon Don? The media make it up. It's sensational. The same people do shit on Instagram or social media or YouTube for clicks and likes and views. Remember, the original clicks and likes and views is the headline. Extra, extra, read all about it. The newspaper. That was the first Instagram, bro. That was the first social media. So clicks and likes and views. If you know anything about Ringling Brothers, Bonham and Bailey, Bonham Bailey created the show of entertainment. They created what's called the spin. A headline is a spin. You create a headline. If a person who in here know how to use YouTube, you create thumbnails and headlines, thumbnails and titles to do what? To surfboard the algorithm. Did you see they commuted Kabani Savage death sentence? And do you think he would make it out of ADX? Somebody told me they commuted that, but they got a whole lawsuit right now against the federal government, right? You know, Joe Biden pardoned something like 37 death row people that was condemned to death row in the feds before he left. And they got to get them out of Cherry Hut, Indiana. That's where the federal death row people at, right? And the feds, for some reason, want to send all their asses to ADX. So people don't know that before you get sent to ADX, you got to have like a review, like a hearing board. Like some people, the feds want to send them to ADX and they don't qualify. ADX, whoever they got to do the little shit, they interview them and may say, like, you don't go. Like I did an interview with Steve Crawford. Shout out to OG Steve. Steve Crawford said that although he had a murder in prison, he went to trial on it and it got broken down to a manslaughter. But his prison behavior, his prison conduct didn't merit ADX. So when they first interviewed him, they say, bruh, you don't have an ADX type case. But nevertheless, since he had that fresh murder out the pen, he ended up going. But he even explained, matter of fact, I got to put one of them videos back up. Matter of fact, I might try to do a video with Steve that's just a full length video. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do as a matter of fact. Jawan said, hold on. I'd rather have Wayne Perry back out here than Lee Melville. Well, the funny thing about it, Lee Boy Melville probably might never commit a crime again. They even say he a rainbow in the Virginia joint. They talking about changing the young sniper sentence to life with parole, Lee Melville. I mean, but for real, honestly, y'all, according to science and biology and all that, Shawty was brainwashed since he was a teenager. And I'm not going to get into no big thing about him, but him, in his case, it's going to be more to him. He may get out of prison one day. I just looked it up. 2 of the murders he pled guilty to had nothing to do with him. Demencio and Michael Frey, he had nothing to do with. Hey, Juwan, you going too deep into some shit right now for the day. I mean, for this early in the morning, but I see you looked it up. But where you looked that up at? Where you get that from? Because remember, just because you don't pull the trigger or you not, they don't mean you had nothing to do with it. But I dig what you're saying, and I think I know what you read. It was the laundry on the avenue. It was the laundry on the ave. I don't know what that means. Hey, I'm sorry if I'm bothering you, but I just outed in front of my what? All right. Well, fuck you and your mother then, bro. E, you seen that shootout on the boat down Myrtle Beach? 11 folks got shot. Blacks got into it. Nah, I didn't look at it. I will now that you mentioned it like that. E, did you ever do a story on Tyson from D.C. and his reputation in prison being from D.C.? Who was Tyson from D.C.? Ain't no parole in Virginia. Goddamn, Joe, he gonna get out. VA the sniper. I don't know. I read a DC Sniper book in Clarksburg. John definitely ruined Melvo's life. Yeah, I mean, and he was domineering. You know what I mean? Like he had a military. He had some type of military background with him, bro. Nah, but Demencio son did a documentary, and that was Alpo and a flunky from Southeast that did Demencio dirty. Wayne knew nothing about Demencio. I mean, I understand you saying that, but you giving that to me from somebody else's perspective. I know some different things than Demencio son. Demencio son ain't from DC, Juwan. I know that's your peoples. I ain't talking slick to you, but a lot of times you be talking that shit. Not talking that shit. A lot of times you be telling us shit that Demencio son said. Demencio son not from here. Demencio son wasn't on the playground when Demencio got cracked, Juwan. So, like, I understand. I seen you debate with a couple people in the comments one time saying, oh, that's my peoples. Demencio son was not on the playground. I know people that was on the playground that day, Juwan. Now, just for the sake of, YouTube and what you saying, I dig it, but please, let's not push that narrative like either one of us were there or we know. Demencio's son is not from DC. Anything Demencio's son is telling anyone, someone has told him, even if it was a family member. RV go back soon, what? Finally seen Dirty Reds. What, Lil Reds? Dirty Reds, right? Oh, hearsay. I ain't gonna call it hearsay. Demencio's son, he probably heard some things that was first person knowledge. But I'm saying, me being a journalist and me being a dude that was in the streets and asked questions, keep in mind, Frey, Greg Royster, Wookie, Eddie Mathis, all these type of dudes used to be in my grandmother's house as a kid. I used to be on 750 as a kid. My uncle lived on Wilburger. I've been around, bruh. So no one can sit here and tell me that, oh, I know for sure this happened that day and that happened that day. None of us can say that we know for sure what happened this day and that day, even if we was there. Some people don't know the plot behind the plot. Very great. Yes, that's Tyson. I don't know them. I don't know who this Tyson person is. Yeah, Fuller. That's my man, Lil Reds. Well, Dirty Reds. Let me not call him Lil Reds. Crazy, my little brother's in Red Onion, and I asked him, did he see Lee Melvo in there? He said they got Melvo in protective custody in there, and a nigga like that can never come on the yard with them. Yeah, listen, bro. The crime he got is weird. They said he was doing weird shit when he got sent to Greenville. He stayed up there in Red Onion all that time. He ain't on shit, and technically, I don't like to, just be throwing things around, but technically, although he didn't help the dude get the jump, but he told later on of what happened. Like, ain't nothing about Melvo gangster, bro. You was riding around shooting innocent people out of a little hole in the back of a Caprice Classic, and it ain't no telling if it's true or not that the dude tampered with the boy. Like, Shawty ain't no gangster. Shawty just was a misled young nigga that they bought from over there in one of them islands and trained him to be a personal Call of Duty shooter. The facts. That's facts. But, oh, okay, hold on. Juwan. Let me see what my man Juwan said. Juwan said, that's facts. But that was Sean Branch who told him that had nothing to do with Wayne. Because he went to Upper Marlboro jail where Wayne was at the time. All right, Juwan, let's talk for a second about that. I'm not disputing nothing Sean Branch said, and I'm not going into nothing that Sean Branch said right now. I know what you're talking about, but my point as a journalist is that you are still diverging, regurgitating second or third hand knowledge. You wasn't at Upper Marlboro when Sean went to see Wayne. Demencio's son wasn't there when he went to see Wayne. And anything that Sean Branch may know exclusively, we can't be sure that he allowed any of us to know some of the things that he really knows, if you get it. Now, this is a person that I know personally. And this conversation that you're talking about, even though we're talking about on the public panel, I know some of the personal information behind it. I mean, just from me to you. How you know E? How I know what? What's the difference between Ant and Gully? That's a good question. Gully a bitch-ass nigga that's from Erie, Pennsylvania that ain't never been in the game, that ain't never really did nothing. Anything that he said he did is challenged by people from 22nd or 23rd Street in Erie, Pennsylvania. They are friends of Gully TV who have Facebook accounts of them going out to events and getting into fights and skirmishes, and Gully running, haul assing like a cartoon character. What else is the difference between Gully and Ant? Ant is from Southeast Washington, D.C. Gully is from Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania has nothing original that Gully wants to be about. Shout out to the men from Erie, Pennsylvania, because I'm not going to make the mistake of disrespecting the whole place. But if you grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania, 9 times out of 10, you wanted to be like a Philly nigga or a New York nigga. In Gully's situation, he didn't care who he had to be. If you go look at his kid pictures, he was confused. He in pictures with white boys and shit. What else about Gully? Gully, this is another difference between Gully. This is another difference between Gully and Aunt Glizzy. Aunt Glizzy can do content from the DMV and never leave the house. I ain't praising him or nothing. I'm calling a spade a spade. Gully, unless he did Zoom videos or FaceTime videos or videos on Instagram where you going live together, Gully has to leave where he's from to get content. Why you think he do content on a bunch of old has-beens? No disrespect to them dudes, but like, how many people know the Virginia rabbit he just was talking about is now the barber? No disrespect to bruh. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I don't even know him. Gully got to leave his little mama's house where he live in the basement and make them little knit jumps that he was making in the feds. He got to leave his mama's house and fly or drive out of state for content. Most other people don't. How the fuck is that going to say poor connection when both of them sitting right here side by side? So that's my answer to you, but that was a good question. Fuck Gully. How you know, E? How I know what? Everybody from D.C. knows who Tyson is that was locked up. Bruh, I don't know. I never even heard of who the fuck the dude is, bruh. And I was locked up. How old is he? Where you heard about him from? And what jail was he in? Was he in Lawton? How the fuck you gonna say everybody know him? I never heard of him. Who the fuck is he? Fuck Melvo Obama like him don't need to be free. His crime was way more violent than Wayne or Hoover. And it was for no fucking reason. I mean, his perspective of it was for no reason. I mean, the dude, Muhammad, or Williams, whatever you want to call him, he was upset about his kids and had that little boy killing people from Tacoma, Washington, all the way across the whole country. You just talking now, and I know you gangster. You just talking how I know you gangster. That shit not facts about the sniper. How I know you a gangster. Hey, bro, fuck you. Get the fuck on, bro. Who the fuck said I'm a gangster, bro? Matter of fact, you talking too much dumb shit, bro. You ain't even built like that to be talking like that, bro. You don't even contribute to the conversation, fuck boy. Oh, well, then if Wayne had something to do with Demencio demise, I can't fuck with Wayne then because he caused a lot of pain in my people's life. Jawan, let me say this again, bruh. I ain't saying Wayne had something to do with it or he didn't have nothing to do with it. You know I'm not going to talk like that, bruh. We not even having a private conversation, bruh. We are communicating on this app. I'm not saying that. I'm not telling you to fuck with Wayne or not to fuck with Wayne. I'm saying for the sake of what you contributed to the community comments. Just like when we talking basketball, right? You're not just talking to me. You're not just talking to Demencio, son. You're not just talking about Sean Brand. You're talking to everybody that's on here, everybody that's see it later. I'm saying in that type of context, I don't know. And you came on and like when we was talking about Michael Jordan the other night, you inform people that, hey, I knew Michael Jordan wore shorts, his Carolina Tar Heel shorts underneath his Chicago Bulls shorts, right? You said that. That's the type of thing that we could talk about in public and we could have facts because we was reading it out the book. I'm telling you because you know Demencio and his family and that's your peoples, that does not make your information firsthand or factual. It could be factual, but that is not the authority to make it factual. That's all I'm saying. Just like nothing I'm saying is, can I make it factual without some type of evidence to document it? That's all I'm saying, bro. Peace, Eon. Great coverage of Larry Hoover sentence being commuted. Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Tone, man. He got that information straight from Chicago as soon as it was going down. And called me and said, E, you better cover this story. Okay, Wayne and Demencio never even met before. How you know that? So if he got robbed on his hands with Big Demencio, I can't respect it. Alpo and Demencio dusted off because he was sleeping with Alpo's wife, but Alpo slept with his. Once again, bruh, Juwan, once again, you wasn't there. How do I know that you know what you talk about? How do you know what you talking about? How you know any of that's true, bruh? This ain't sports right here, bruh. This is life and death. This is murder. This is old school gossip. This is folklore. This is legend. How the fuck do you know for sure that Wayne and Demencio never met? How do you know that it was about Alpo and his girl? All this shit come from shit that's on the internet. Alpo that said it, Demencio that said it, some other nigga that said it, Queens Flip that said it. How the fuck do me and you know it's true, bruh? But when somebody sleep with his wife, he gets jealous. Bruh, look what we talking about, Juwan. This ain't Michael Jordan, this ain't NBA. Look what we talking about. Somebody sleeping with Alpo's wife. How you know who slept with his wife? Other than him saying it. Jeff Ford should be next. Fly know he is. What? Huh? Keith what? Free Lord Dirt. VA get all they swag from DC and Maryland. What the fuck is he talking about? I don't know all that. I met a couple fly niggas out of Virginia. Even try to talk like us. Nah, I ain't going with that. These people clowns. Nah, Juwan ain't no clown. I'm just debating. I'm trying to use a sports analogy with him in regards to street shit. Do you think Wayne ever coming home? Allah knows best. But I do think he getting out. Do you think Pistol Pete will ever make it out of ADX? I don't know. I don't know what's up with Pistol Pete. Most of my homies don't like him, so they never give me a real rundown on him. But shout out to my Instagram crew. I'm about to go ahead and take these dogs outside. I've been here for a minute. These people clowns. Why you, what you want? I don't know. What up, brother Eon? Much respect. And I respect your journalism. Man, I appreciate the love. Salute. Or you think King Blood will make it out? King Blood. King Blood in a situation like Larry Hoover. As far as influence, they got him on no communicado. Artifacts, what's up, bruh? Who wants to be gangster? It's 2025. Gotta be an old chump who never been on nothing. 25 years ago, Dale City, VA in Prince William County was nothing like it is now. I got a uncle from Dale City. That's true. Dale City and Woodbridge. Do you think Wayne ever coming home? A lot of y'all keep asking that. I think he gonna get out of jail one day. Dirk ain't getting out. I ain't gonna say that neither. Okay, what's up with my man? Juwan getting that from interviews and documentaries. I heard all the same info. I did too, but Juwan does know people personally. All the facts don't even know me. Juwan, you ain't got it. Everybody here that been in the comments know that you know sports and you know Demencio's son, bro. You ain't got to defend yourself, Juwan. You family, bro. You got a wrench. You got a wrench, Juwan. I'm talking about Northern VA, not VA Beach. No, I know you talking about Northern VA. I'm from DC. How you going to... Hey, bro, Tony, how you going to sit there and tell me I'm talking about Northern VA, not VA Beach, not Norfolk? Bruh, I'm from DC. I know exactly what you talking about when you talking about... Hold on. Dale City, it ain't really... If that's you talking, if you said that, I might have got it confused with the other person, but Dale City and Woodbridge ain't really Northern Virginia to me. Northern Virginia to me is like Alexandria, Fairfax, Arlington, Mount Vernon and shit like that. Route 1 up the top by the Walmart, like that's Northern Virginia to me. Like they wear New Balance, they talk like us a little bit. They got their own swag too, but that's a DC suburb. Damn, it's 1042. I gotta go all the way. You know Hanky? I don't know who that is. Oh, Banky. Shout out to Banky. Yeah, big homie. Okay, I get what you saying. Yeah, no disrespect to no Virginia, no part of Virginia though. My father was born in Virginia as a baby. Culpeper, Virginia, as a matter of fact. My grandmother then moved him up here as a little teeny baby. all the facts. Where you from? Because you sound like an outsider. So your opinion is weak anyway. There go Juwan. Ah, the passion is real. I see Juwan. I see Juwan. I'm not disputing what you saying, family. I love VA. I worked in VA and got family in Culpeper. Shout out to Culpeper. Shit, we might be related. Could be, homeboy. Juwan gets ruffled easy, I see. He told you, you good, just chill. No, Juwan be like Juwan, like how I be passionate about certain shit, Juwan be passionate about it, but he hate that, Juwan hate that snake shit, that backbiting shit, that old bullshit. Worked in VA 25 years. I also lived in Fairfax, Virginia, which is considered northern VA. Facts. About 20 minutes from DC. Well, if you 20 minutes away from DC, you a little bit down the highway, but it's still Fairfax. Remember, Lawton is 30 minutes down the highway, but it's still considered northern Virginia. I didn't claim no hood. I don't claim no hood, Juwan, but I would be in the DC car. As Juwan would be too. If Juwan was in the feds, I hate to always turn the conversation prison-wise, but he would be in the DC car too. We'll all be homies. You say, and never been on nothing? Who ain't never been on nothing? VA ain't on nothing? Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I don't claim no hood. Oh, all right. 100. That's a fact, though. My family in Culpeper is Mercer and Brown. My family in Culpeper is Williams. And somebody say, "Wow, go to bed." Do you box, OG? Nah. I might train. I ain't no boxer for real. But man, I appreciate the love, y'all. Man, I'm gonna do a little. I know what I could do today. I got some plans to do some other video content, but I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna explain to y'all what Larry Hoover went to jail for in the beginning. Salute E at work checking in. What's up, Slim? What the Knicks gonna do? Damn, caught you late. I'll be back. You know, for real, I did an early jump today. Great guys. I got a lot of words of encouragement from them. Okay. Juwan said, but you right though, Eon. I wasn't even born back then. That's all I was saying. You know me and you know how I talk. You know I ain't never disrespecting you. I ain't never talking slick to you. If it sound like it, it's just my little Eon thing. Y'all know I'm a little different. I'm a little crazy. But he said, but you right, Eon. I wasn't even born back then, so I can only go off of what his grandmother said. Right. And remember this, that's a grandmother, bruh. People done bought her information. She ain't never seen nobody bang, bang, bang. When Alpo used to call their home making threats, but I don't know, that's over with. I mean, you don't have to not relive it or share what you know. Alpo is a whore. Everybody knows he's a whore. He died as a whore. May he rest in piss. He got booked because he was bringing us together. He got booked because he was bringing us together. Who you talking about, Larry? Who? Free the political prisoners. Yeah, hey, let me say this. I ain't leaving on nobody comments or nobody posts because I ain't want to seem like I was attacking nobody, but can y'all please stop sending me this shit saying, E, why are you worried about Larry Hoover? We got other political prisoners. Please don't send me on Instagram or any app, right? Please don't send me nothing to share if you haven't researched how to do it. What I mean by this, a lot of people are sending me things to share and they saying, Eon, you know, you keep representing for Larry Hoover. What about Mumia Abu Jamal, Sekou Odingo, all these different people. Brother, before you can act like you're going to be an advocate for a cause to free a political prisoner, man, do your civic research and learn that the president can only pardon or commute the sentences of federal prisoners. Please don't send me no shit and question why do I support the pardon or the commutation of the sentence for Larry Hoover, and you want me to represent or speak about or educate people to someone who's in the prison system in California state or Pennsylvania state or Illinois state, if you don't know that the governor is the only person that can pardon him. So when you come at me and you talk about, damn, me, Larry Hoover, man, but what about them? You don't even know that the governor of Pennsylvania got to pardon this person. The governor of New Jersey got to pardon that one. The governor of California. Bro, if you don't know that, why are we even talking? What have you done about your cause since you want to say let's represent Mubi Abu Jamal or Sekou Odingo or H-Rap Brown or any of these guys that deserve to be advocated for? How the fuck can you advocate for them if you don't know that the governor is the person to pardon? What have you done in researching? If you feel as though that Mubi Abu Jamal needs more representation and more advocacy in the world and you don't know that Trump can't pardon him, what are you doing? Am I wrong for that, y'all? You say, E, why you don't cover West Coast content? Man, I mean, it's some West Coast content. Why wouldn't he pardon the state, whatever? Bruh, I will cover some West Coast content and some West Coast content with something that I had exclusive knowledge. I don't run behind stories. So if Whack 100 and Adam 22 and Vlad TV is covering Big U, if I don't see an angle that's uniquely mine, I'm gonna leave it alone. I have to go nowhere outside of the District of Columbia. I have to go nowhere outside of the Beltway. I have to go nowhere outside of the DMV to cover national, international stories. I live in DC. I can get in my car, drive downtown, park my car outside the federal court building in Washington, DC, or 333 Constitution Avenue, whatever the address is, right there behind Superior Court. Walk in the DC federal court building, look on the board, and I could pick a topic from Google, you know, they got the Google case going on, to Braga Garcia, the El Salvador prison, Donald Trump himself. Bruh, I live in Washington, D.C. Whatever journalistic vibe I feel or groove I'm in, I could cover it. From military to martial arts to murder to money to drug dealing. I ain't Gully TV. I don't never got to leave the house. You hear me? I don't never got to leave the house. I can sit right here, get on my phone, sit back, chill out with my dogs, walk my dogs, right? He get life in the state of Illinois for a body. That state, Trump can't change that. Everybody know that. I got the Versace glasses and silver frames. Okay. I saw the silver frames. Seat Pleasant, Cap Heights, Riverdale Valley, Greenland, Dover, and Bladensburg, my stomping grounds. Born at George Washington University Hospital. I was born in Howard. DC don't have a lot of urban content. DC don't have a lot of urban content. Much love from Baltimore, fam. Bruh, I can sit right here in the house, watch the TV, look on the iPad, look out the window, come back to the TV. I'm not Gully TV, bro. I don't got to find some old ass rappers that's 40 or 50 years old and nobody ever heard of. They wrote a song in jail and Nas heard it and you talking about it 30, 40 years later. Nas ain't doing nothing for you now. Nas don't come get haircuts. Gully still getting parts in his eyebrow, bro. That nigga's a bammer. That nigga Gully straight out of a Crush Groove / Paid in Full movie, bro. I was slapped all the taste out of Gully mouth. With hand or with pistol. Who don't believe me? Who think Gully will come here and play with me? Who think Gully could do anything with me in real life? Y'all look at my track record, not what I'm saying out my mouth with me talking tough, and y'all look at him, not what he's saying out his mouth with no money he talking about he got. Who believe Gully could pose any type of threat to Eon? And who believe that Eon ruin Gully career if he catch him in person? What do y'all believe? Who would you bet on? Whether it was a fist fight or straight up beef, who would you bet your money on? Me or Gully TV, bro? If somebody said that they was a gangster and they was getting money in the streets and they was slanging and banging back in the day, who would you believe? Me or Jamil? I can tell you're a great dude, brother Eon. You make sure you do your research and then tell the truth on a situation. You have a good history on DC streets, because a lot of you were there. Much respect. Salute. Don't do pistol, OG. He soft, open hand, open hand, open hand, open hand. That boy. Street clothes for Eon. E. You putting too much energy in the Gully. Y'all keep asking me about him. I'm dead ass serious. That nigga said that nigga got on somebody's dick talking about I'm a rat. I'm not gonna be satisfied till I see blood slapped out his mouth. I got my money on you hard. Hard body. Gully used to be cool, but he's a whole Bama now. He been a Bama. He was just trying to find a way to fake and act, you know what I mean? He been a Bama. Who? Gully not from Philly. Don't put that on Philly. He say, you, brother. Gully used to be cool. Yeah, Bama now. Well, you know what they say about running your mouth. You run your mouth too much. That nigga had the nerve to talk about I should have been an author. I was selling bricks of cocaine when that boy was selling rocks. I was selling birds. He ain't never seen 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 birds. He never seen it. He ain't never made a 10 brick sale. I did it. Fuck out of here, bro. And I ain't making it up. Niggas know it. Gully talking that big money shit. He told the nigga he been balling his whole life. Gully ain't never sold a bird. Nigga ain't never fronted him when he ain't never middleman the bird. He ain't never round top the bird. Nigga, I done came home broke and knew niggas that had bricks and bricks was 30. I was selling them for $5,000 a bird, nigga. Statute of limitation over. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Nigga ain't never had no bricks. Nigga ain't never seen no bricks. He don't know a nigga that'll give him a brick right now, not even one. Where he from? Heard the name, but don't know where he from. He from Erie, Pennsylvania, bruh. There's no brick connect out of Erie, Pennsylvania. If it's a nigga in Erie, Pennsylvania with bricks, he got them from somewhere else. There's no bricklayer in Erie, Pennsylvania from Erie, Pennsylvania. If it's a nigga in Erie, Pennsylvania that got bricks, he done left Pennsylvania to get them. I ain't gonna say he left Pennsylvania. He may have left Erie to get them. Gully ain't never sold no bricks. He can't sit up there and pretend like he could talk to a motherfucker. He could have never talked to Alpo about brick prices. He don't know nothing. He ain't never sold no. For the price of a brick in Erie, Pennsylvania, is probably $10,000 more than you're going to get one from, get a brick for. Let me not say 10,000. Let me be realistic. A brick in Erie, Pennsylvania is thousands of dollars more than a brick in New York, Baltimore, D.C., or Philadelphia, nigga. You niggas Bamas up there. If you got parts in your eyebrows like Gully, I ain't going to disrespect all the men. And I ain't gonna disrespect nobody up there that may be getting some joints since we talking about the drug game. But I'm telling you, Gully ain't never sold no birds in the single units or in the tens of units, and he's never seen them. Bro, he's never made a hit where he sold multiple bricks. Bro, you nothing like us in D.C. We learned the drug game before junior high school. Goofy ass nigga. Talking about he been balling his whole life. I know it's nobody gonna stamp that. Nobody gonna stamp that he ever had a connect. Nobody gonna ever stamp that they sold them bricks. Nobody gonna ever say that when they was growing up, they was looking for Jamil to get some work. He ain't ever fronted nobody nothing, bro. I really did it. Ass niggas in the streets, ass niggas in the joint. The fuck out of here, bro. He can't get on the phone and say, hey, I don't want to do YouTube no more. I want to get back in the game. He can't get a bird. You sit up here running around New York and talking about Alpo, bro. No one would front Gully a brick. The fuck out of here, nigga. You wasn't even selling 125. So whenever you was jamming, bro, you was selling rocks. You had a little bag of rocks in your drawers sitting in the car up there in the freezing cold, wearing polo and Super 10s. Bro, we did that in 85 here. And you a year older than me. And you live in your mother's house. With that same Lexus. Like you say, ass niggas, what they driving? I don't know why the algorithm keeps sending me Gully TV videos, but I seen the same blue Lexus that's sitting in front of his mama house at the service station. The same blue Lexus you driving. Boy, you drive, bro, I was hustling out that Lexus when Jay-Z had it. Jamil, with your bitch ass. Bro, listen to what you talking about. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, bruh. There's a statute of limitation on drug dealing. The statute of limitation for drug dealing for me is over. Just like I talk about killing. I pled guilty to murder. I can talk. You might not know what you talking about. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's been 7 years since I seen a brick. I can talk about it. I can jump up and down. I sold bricks. I sold bricks. I sold bricks. Fuck wrong with you, bruh? Like, you must think I'm dumb. I'm not you. No disrespect to you. I know is look up the statute of limitation on drug dealing, bro. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I didn't say who I got it from. I didn't say where I sold it at. I didn't say how long I was selling. I didn't say where I was selling it from. In my criminal history, I have murders and drug dealing. There's a statute of limitation on everything except for murder, and the murder that I committed, I went to jail for it. What you saying? Now for you to think that you're saying something again, let's go back to what you're saying, bro. Listen to what you are talking about. I am talking about my past. I'm talking about my past in connection to a nigga that said they was balling their whole life. Sent me a bunch of messages talking about I'm not nothing. I never did nothing. I was buying half an ounces, bruh. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, now it's coming back to me. You mentioned him before being from Erie and how Bama trying to put dirt on your name. Yeah, that's where this come from. So that's why I don't understand why the fuck this nigga asked me, do I know what I'm talking about? Of course I know what I'm talking about. I'm a semi-legal expert. Y'all gotta read the law. Somebody said y'all gotta read the law. He must know what I'm talking about. Okay, now it's coming back. Pop your shit. Yeah, for that nigga to be popping that shit like, bro, that nigga live in his mother house. Even if he bought the house for his mother, he living in that house, bro. The house got rats in it. The house was built in 1921. The equity is something like $37,000. Bruh, I could buy 10 of them. Would you eat? Would your mother do it for $40? Like, if you want to ask me any question, just ask yourself, would your mother do it? If your mother wouldn't do it, more than likely, I probably wouldn't do it. If your mother would do it, I still probably wouldn't do it because your mother doing it. It's over. He can talk about it, people. Bro, don't tell them dumb people. I know exactly what I'm doing, bro. Like, and if I didn't know what I'm doing, I'm so outspoken with the shit that I do, I would have been in trouble for it. I know exactly what I'm doing, bro. I know the statute of limitation on drug dealing. Somebody said you already stamped these. Salute. I'm really talking that shit to him because that nigga, see, when you ain't really been in those, like, I know I'm not the big Willie from where I'm from. I know a nigga that went to jail for 154 keys. I know another nigga went to jail for 34 keys. I know another nigga accused of having $108 million. I know another nigga that went to jail for 4,500 keys, not at one time, over the duration of the conspiracy. Gully don't know a nigga other than someone he read about from New York or LA or Miami. Gully don't know a nigga that had birds from Erie. And if they did, somebody else was fronting them the jumps where they was getting. He knows no connect. He don't even have he don't even have a video or interview with anybody that was major in the drug game. That boy said I was hustling out that same Lexus Jay-Z had. You caught that street club. Hey, let me get out of here. I got some shit to do. I talk about this fake nigga and all them fake wanna be paid in full niggas all day. You not Dame Dash, nigga. You not a Rich Porter. You ain't nothing like it. You grew up wanting to be like them niggas. That's why you gotta leave Erie for content. I don't gotta leave Washington, D.C. for nothing. From politics to sports to fashion. Crazy work. It's for a small TikTok channel. We are looking for live streams to niggas. Hey, E, what you know about Cliff Cobb? I know he was a legendary dude before me from the Trinidad area, and I know that his name ring bells, and I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I don't know him. I can't speak on him, but I do know that his name hold weight. I gotta run, y'all. Salute. Much love.